School number 47 was known for its oppressive atmosphere. Newcomers didn't survive there, especially teachers. Anyone who arrived with good intentions and high ideals left within a week, either in tears or with a nervous breakdown. At the center of this chaos were three senior students, Yegor, Artyom, and Vladimir. They weren't just bullies. They felt they ruled the school. Even the principal was afraid to confront them. Their parents were either influential or dangerous. So, when a new English teacher entered the school one Monday morning, no one paid much attention. Just another naive idealist, they thought. She'd be broken by Friday. But when she stepped into the classroom, everything went silent. She was young, but there was no fear in her eyes, only cold focus. Her name was Margarita Sergeyevna. From the very first second, she didn't smile or try to win over the students with kindness. She simply looked at each of them with a gaze so firm that even Yegor, used to mocking everyone, almost looked away. "Good morning. English is not entertainment. It is a tool," she began firmly, "and I will not allow anyone to interfere with those who want to learn." A tense silence fell over the class. It felt like she wasn't just saying it, she was promising it. In the next lesson, Yegor threw a paper airplane at her back. She didn't turn around. She simply continued teaching. 2 minutes later, he sensed someone standing beside him. It was her. She slowly picked up the airplane, looked at him, and said in an even tone, "If you want to fly, I can sign you up for an aviation modeling club. But here, you're on the ground, and I make the rules." A quiet chuckle spread through the class. Yegor turned red. He hadn't expected to be put in his place without being humiliated. Artyom and Vlad decided to take it further. The next day, they swapped her presentation flash drive with one that contained a silly clown video and a slide that said, "Chicken Teacher." When she opened the file on the projector and saw the mockery, no one expected her reaction. She didn't yell. She didn't run to the teacher's office. She calmly closed her laptop, looked at the class, and said, "All right, we'll play by your rules then." She pulled out another laptop from her bag and joined an online video conference. Within seconds, the face of a well-known British professor appeared on screen. He worked at an international school in London. "Today you'll be asking questions to a native speaker," she said. "And for every silly question, 1 point off your next test. Good luck." For an entire hour, the class was silent as mice. Even Yegor, whose English was limited to "I have appen," was trembling in fear of being called on. The professor, as it turned out, was a former colleague of hers from abroad. After the lesson, teachers surrounded Margarita Sergeyevna in the hallway. "How did you do that?" they asked in amazement. "Were you in the special forces or something?" She just smiled. "I simply know how to read fear in someone's eyes and not let it live in mine." But the bullies didn't give up. They set her coat on fire in the locker room. What they didn't know was that the school had recently been equipped with new security cameras, something she had known about even before they were installed. A friend of hers worked in district tech support. The next day, she showed the footage to the principal. The parents of the 3 boys were called in. Usually, that wouldn't be enough. Connections meant everything. But this time, their parents didn't protect them. They were furious their sons had been caught and shamed the family name. The trio was placed on final warning. One more complaint, and they'd be expelled. For the first time in years, Yegor, Artyom, and Vlad realized they were losing. At the next class, they came in with lowered heads. But instead of mocking them, Margarita Sergeyevna simply said, "You have one chance, and it starts now. At the end of the term, I'll sum things up. You can leave with nothing or with respect." 2 weeks passed. The bullies calmed down. Vlad even passed a test with a B. Artyom arrived on time for the first time. And after class, Yegor asked her, "Did you really work abroad?" She nodded. "And in prison too. I taught inmates." Yegor turned pale. "Real convicts? What do you think the difference is?" she replied. "At least they knew how to admit their mistakes." Silence filled the hallway. No one had ever spoken to these boys like that, without humiliating them, but making them think. At the end of the term, during a staff meeting, the principal stood before the entire teaching staff. "I want to acknowledge one teacher," he said. "In 3 weeks, she changed the behavior of our most difficult students and even improved their grades." Margarita Sergeyevna stood up. The entire room followed. Even teachers who had grown used to failure felt something new: inspiration. After the meeting, the 3 former bullies approached her in an empty classroom. They stood in awkward silence. "Well?" she asked quietly. "Thank you," Yegor exhaled, "for not giving up on us." "You were the first who wasn't afraid of us," added Vladimir. "And you were the first to start listening," she replied. From that day on, school number 47 began to change, slowly but surely. In the teacher's lounge, a photo of the class was hung with a caption underneath: "Change begins with those who believe that anything is possible."